The United Nations human rights experts and special rapporteurs are urging government to take all measures to withdraw the anti-homosexuality bill currently before Parliament. The first reading of the bill took place on the 2nd of August 2021 and its consideration is expected to resume in October. Now, they say the draft bill explicitly promotes discrimination and violence against LGBTQI persons. That are considerations of the bill is also shocking, especially because Ghana is regarded as a champion of democracy in Africa. There's more in the following report.
The independent experts appointed by the Human Rights Council presented an analysis of the draft bill to the government of Ghana, stating their concerns. They say the draft bill seems to establish a system of state-sponsored discrimination and violence against LGBTI persons. The report says the consideration is shocking, especially because Ghana has been regarded as a champion of democracy in Africa with an impressive record of achieving certain Millennium Development Goals by 2015. They say the draft legislation appears to be the result of a deep hate towards the LGBTI community, and that it will not only criminalize LGBTI people, but anyone who supports their rights, shows sympathy to them, or is even remotely associated with them. They say that given that LGBTI people are present in every family and every community, it is not very difficult to imagine how, if the bill is adopted, it could create a recipe for conflict and violence. They conclude by urging the government of Ghana to take all measures necessary to withdraw the proposed bill from consideration.
So let's do some more on this latest, angle to the LGBTQ bill, which is currently before Parliament. We're joined by the campaign coordinator for Amnesty International, Samuel Adbuche. Thank you very much, sir, for your time on Joy News Prime. What do you make of the verdict by the United Nations Human Rights Agency?
Good evening to your viewers and the listeners. We in Ghana, as an organization, a human rights organization, and human rights advocates and experts have been doing an analysis of our bill, the bill in Parliament, and some of the fears that we have expressed wasn't different from what the UN rights experts have expressed. And so we associate ourselves with some of the issues that has been raised in the report that has been issued.
What do you say to those who think that your advocacy painting a very grim picture of how LGBTQ persons are treated in Ghana as what is generating this kind of response from the United Nations?
Well, of course, the United Nations is an assembly of countries, and they are the generation of human rights, and therefore, of course, they are watching every country and what we do. And Ghana being a big home of democracy in Africa, or West Africa, and the whole world, they are critically watching our steps and what we do, especially when it comes to human rights. The major concerns in the UN experts report, and as expressed by some of the civil society organizations like Amnesty and others, was the fact that the bill is gone beyond attempting to punish alleged LGBTQ persons or suspects, and to human rights defenders and people who are associated with them, and those who even want to defend their right. And that has been the concerns, because in this country, even armed robbers have people defending them in court. They have people speaking for their fair trial. If things are not going on well, we have people who advocate for their fundamental right, apart from the right to movement and other things. And so that has been the major concern. Human rights has three aspects. We have the human right promotion, we have the protection and fulfillment. Sometimes it's just good that we distinguish between the act and the person. The fact that somebody has been allegedly accused of a particular crime, that does not mean that the person is losing all the other rights the other rights that are associated to the person.
But that has been also made abundantly clear by some of the point you make about protecting the other rights of persons identified as such or accused has been made abundantly clear by some of the lead legislators that there's enough provision in that law. Also, even before the LGBT draft, there's enough provision in our laws to protect such persons. And then they have gone a step further to include such provisions that would help protect even further some of these people from further abuse.
Yes. Can you pick it up again? I didn't hear.
Yes, Mr. Abuja, I was just saying that you mentioned the protection of the right of persons accused of being LGBT, and the fact that they are or are not does not mean their other rights should not be violated. Should be violated. I am saying that the draft bill makes enough provision for protection. How about that? That has, it appears that is always under the radar for you as far as your advocacy is concerned.
Yes, of course. Even before the bill has been laid in Parliament, some of us working and defending human rights have received a lot of threats. Our office has been threatened. I have been threatened. My family has been threatened for even opening my mouth or our mouth to even talk of human rights of gays and lesbians. You can imagine if this law is passed, what it means that human rights defenders cannot even open their mouth and even mention LGBT at all and so on. So that is the fear that some of us or some of the human rights defenders are expressing, that there's going to be an all-out kind of tagging, naming, name calling. Look, if this law is passed, what is going to happen is that if I don't like you, I can easily just go raise an alarm that you are gay or you are lesbian or you are this. And then people can take it up from there. You know how media trials are very good in Ghana and so on and so forth. Meanwhile, the act is a private act. So how do you know that the person is engaged in this particular act when you don't have the evidence to even show that indeed the person is engaged?
Mr. Abuja, would like to leave it here for now. We're grateful for your time. That's the campaign coordinator of Amnesty International joining us on the latest angle of the anti-gay bill, which is currently before Parliament. The UN has raised concerns. We're able to speak to Fuamweni, who is part of the coalition that drafted the legislation, but we don't have him. When we do, we'll bring you his response or reaction to this.